This video was created and brought to you by ManageMax. We manage condominiums, HOAs, manufactured housing and apartment communities throughout Southeast Michigan. We're a growing company, and maybe we'll get to your area soon if we're not there yet. We create these videos to share industry insights with current and prospective clients. There will be an opportunity to connect with us at the end, so stick around to the end of the video. Now let's dive in. When a community is spiraling with rising complaints, declining property values, and growing tensions, is recovery even possible? You're watching neighbor turn against neighbor. Board meetings become battlegrounds, and property values start dropping. The answer might surprise you. Here's what most people don't realize. Community problems rarely start with the big issues you see on the surface. Before the lawsuits and heated board meetings, there's usually a breakdown in basic systems and accountability. Once worked for a community as a community manager for a previous company where the ceilings were literally collapsing on residents' heads on average once every other month between emergency services, standard cleanup services, and some insurance. That was costing the association about $15,000 per incident. Plus, you have residents who are falling asleep or they leave for work, and either they wake up and their ceiling's falling down on their head, or they come home from work and their bedroom is covered in insulation and the collapsed ceiling. Nightmare, right? Nightmare for the board, nightmare for the residents. It was rough. What it ended up being was a previous management company had gotten in there and blown in insulation to increase the R value of the attic. But they did a poor job distributing the insulation, and it was very thick, sometimes waist high in areas, sometimes ankle thin in other areas. So they didn't distribute it well. It got wet from a leaky roof here and there, and in the areas that were very thick, when it got wet, the weight was too much for the drywall fell. There you go. So we had to get on top of that. We walked through every single building, got a contractor on it, cleared that up for them. We diagnosed it properly, fortunately, because they had no idea before that why it was even happening. And they were able to get their roofs redone. They assessed their residents. Obviously, it was a necessary issue, but we had to get that insulation squared away, and we did. So this systematic approach to problem solving, I just gave you one example. We've got hundreds. This is what separates effective management from reactive Band-Aid solutions. Our company doesn't just fix the immediate crisis. We identify why it's happening and then prevent it from recurring. We go after root causes. The first 3 months determine whether a turnaround of a community that's not doing well succeeds or fails. This is where our systematic approach really shows its value. Take work order management. I've seen communities where any resident could request any service work, regardless of budget impact. One property was hemorrhaging money because there were no limits or protocols. We implemented a structured system that defined appropriate service levels, spending thresholds, and approved processes. The result? Controlled costs without reducing necessary services. Another common issue is after-hours emergency calls. At one community, residents were calling 24/7 for everything from burned-out light bulbs to actual plumbing emergencies, all being handled at premium emergency rates. We worked with the board to clearly define what constitutes a real emergency versus routine maintenance. After-hours calls dropped dramatically, and the community saved thousands in unnecessary premium charges. The key is establishing clear systems that protect both the community's finances and residents' legitimate needs. Once we've stopped the immediate problems, we focus on preventing future crises through what we call systematic excellence. This isn't just about having good intentions, it's about having the right technology and processes in place. Our comprehensive management platform gives boards and residents 24/7 access to financial data, maintenance tracking, and community resources. No more wondering where money is being spent or when that work order will be completed. We also bring financial expertise that most management companies simply don't have. With an MBA and CFA background, I can provide strategic reserve planning and budget development that actually makes sense for your community's long-term health. Most importantly, we establish proactive maintenance protocols and early warning systems. Instead of waiting for ceilings to collapse, for instance, or budgets to spiral out of control, for instance, we identify potential problems before they become expensive emergencies. The difference between reactive management and systematic excellence often comes down to having the right expertise and tools in place from day one. Here's the truth about troubled communities. They don't get that way overnight, and they won't be fixed with generic solutions. They need systematic excellence backed by real expertise. At our company, we don't just manage properties, we seek to help the board transform them. Our technology-driven approach, combined with deep financial and operational expertise, means we can diagnose problems others miss and implement solutions that actually last. Whether your community is dealing with budget overruns, maintenance nightmares, or resident conflicts, remember this: the right management partner can turn any situation around. The question isn't whether recovery is possible, it's whether you're working with someone who has the systems and expertise to make it happen. If you found this perspective valuable, we invite you to connect with us. Facebook viewers, like our page and follow us for regular updates. Feel free to message us directly with your questions or community challenges. Instagram viewers, hit follow and feel free to DM us with your questions or community challenges. YouTube viewers, subscribe to our channel and check out the video description for helpful links. Visit our website to discover our thought leadership content, books, and resources that can transform your community management approach. Whether you're dealing with the challenges we discussed today or other community issues, we're here to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.